Something that a lot of people miss when they start vibe coding or start building an app is the user journey. And AI tools have gotten really good at building out the how something gets done, but they need to know what to do and what the user experience needs to be. You're starting out an app on something like Replit, Lovable, Bolt, things like that. You really need to start with the user journey. I have updated our PRD tool to focus more on this as these AI tools have come along on this journey. So I'm going to show you today how to use a user journey PRD to start your app correctly so it has the foundations that you need in order to build something that's functional and ultimately sellable. So go ahead, join me here on the screen, and we're going to go right through the process together. The first thing we'll look at here, I'm on prd.opichg.ai, and this will be where you just put in your overall plan. So I have built a progressive web app workout tracker that tracks the specific workout, the exercises, the sets, the weight lifted, and the date and time of the workout, and save it on a user's profile. So a very, very basic outline of what I want an app to do. Then you put in your name and email and generate PRD. Now, with the updates to the PRD tool, what will happen is something like this. You will get the PRD back. So I'm going to give an overview here, and then it outlines the user journey. Now, what you can do is read this and say, hey, I like it, or I want to change stuff. The first thing I saw is I forgot to give it a name. So I gave it a name, and you can actually just put these in the chat and it will regenerate. And then I said I wanted a feature. I want to be able to go into the history, pick any exercise, and see the progress with that exercise over time. So now it created a revision for me here. Now what I can do is look through this and see if I like this or if I want to add anything else before I start the user journey. And remember, we're trying to keep it simple here so that our initial build is clean. A lot of the tools like Replit have started truncating whatever you put into the first prompt here, and you end up with it not reading your entire PRD. So you don't want to give it a huge long document. So this is shortened. It works in pretty much all the tools without being truncated. So user signs up, they select a new workout, they enter a workout name, and then add exercises, select from a list or create new. For each exercise, user input sets, weight lifted, and reps. And last fields, last used values pre-populate. That's cool. Repeat until all exercises are logged. Save workout, store. User can view or edit. From their profile or workout history, users can select any exercises and see history. Okay. This is pretty solid. I think there is a small feature set that I want. I want this to focus on weightlifting only. We have a nice clean PRD here. So we're going to copy this like that. And we're going to go over to Replit and start this build. We're just going to paste it in. Now here's what you're looking for. You want your PRD to fit in here, not show up as a pasted item. If it's too long, it's going to show up as a pasted item, and that will end up getting truncated in the first read. So we want it to be super simple and lightweight. And for this, I am going to select the web app option. This general option is actually pretty cool for a lot of builds, but since we're doing a PWA, we're going to do a web app here and start the chat. Now this is something that I left in here for Replit users. Right here, it's going to try to put in Replit Auth. I don't recommend using Replit Auth. It's very niche and not necessarily a scalable solution. So you'll see here that because we mentioned auth, it's going to try to do that. And what we'll do is we'll just update our plan. So we're going to edit the plan and say this. We're going to say do not use Replit Auth, use JWT Auth with our Postgres database. And that'll just give us really basic username and password sign in. Let's add a little clarification here. Usernames should be emails, not case sensitive. We're going to send that back up. It looks like our plan is in order, so I'm going to tell it to do the first build here and see what we end up with just from this first push of a user journey focused PRD. Right here, it looks like we have the outline of the app. It appears that the Replit agent is going through and testing stuff. And I am going to just go ahead and stop that process right here. and we'll do some testing of our own. And let's try to sign up and create an account. So we have an account created, and we're going to go with a new workout and add an exercise. And we'll just do some dips. And maybe we did 20 pounds or 25 pounds with the dips. And then we can add a set. I don't know if there's a way to save the sets here. But we'll go ahead and do another 10 and add an exercise. And we will do tricep push down. And those we'll say was 50 pounds, 10 reps. We'll do that again. Save the workout. The editing capability looks interesting here, maybe not fully connected. It's like I can't go back in and edit that. I wonder if it's saving when I'm doing a workout. Like if I'm add an exercise here and then go back, is that saving or not? I think we need a little better save process there. But we have a fairly good outline to work from. So let's see if we can wrap up the user experience just a little bit here. So I'm going to go into plan mode here and ask a couple questions. And say, let's autosave the database or even a button to save set that a user clicks, and the workout should be autosaved once created. So we don't want the workout to disappear either. Just because we're saving the sets doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to keep the workout. So we want both. We're going to see what it's built here. I see it's still doing some tests. Let's just see if we can buzz through what it's built and ask some questions. We're going to add an exercise. This isn't very scrollable, is it? We can fix that later. Let's just do bench press. So we have a bench press there that appears to have saved. We're going to add a set. So what we're going to do here is it's doing its tests, and sometimes I find it gets a little lost when testing. So I'm going to stop it and just see what has been built so far based on our request. It's going to restart the app after that. So we're going to let it restart the app, and then we're going to see what it's built. So it looks like everything was in memory before. Hopefully now it's going to be saving this information. So we're going to do a new workout, and we're going to pick an exercise here. It looks like that list needs a little bit of cleanup, but we're just going to put some details in and test if it is saving anything. Now, if it is saving correctly, it should be saving this information. So if my page gets refreshed, it's there, and it's not. So it went right back to workout new. Let's see if that's saved. It didn't save anything here at all. So we're going to go back over and see where it got stuck. We're going to go back over to plan mode and ask it about it. We're going to say, I just tested it. I created a new workout, added a couple exercises and a couple sets, and then refreshed the page without clicking finish workout. If you did as I asked, that would have retained the workout. But instead it went back to the screen to start a new workout. Explain. We're just going to see what it has here. So we're going to send it a quick little response here that it said that it creates a draft workout in the database. So I'm going to say, should the draft not show in the recent workouts here? And it should also keep the workout for us if we refresh the page. Let's see what it came up with here. We're going to go to build, like the plan, show the drafts in the dashboard so we can resume them. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. After it's done these changes and just test them, it looks pretty solid right here. So I'm going to run a stop here and take a look. Don't let it keep working if you want to test. So now all of these drafts that I had show up, which is excellent. And it appears I can go into a draft. That one showed 0 exercises. This one shows 2. There they are. And let's go ahead and add another exercise, see if we can pick it up. Here's the next one. And we'll add a set to that. There we are. And it looks like we can change the title as well. And then we will finish this workout. There we go. We have a completed workout. And it looks like it saves that information. So there we were able to use the user journey to create a simple workout tracking app pretty quickly in Replit. Other than the time spent waiting on it to do stuff, it was not a lot of time on my end to get to this point. A few prompts, a good user journey, and I have an app that can track workouts very easily. So give it a try. Go over to prd.opichg.ai, or write your own if you want. Write down that user journey, put that into something like Bolt, Replit, Lovable. We used Replit here today, and see what you get. See if you can get yourself a nice first edition of your app pretty quickly by describing the user journey. Let me know how it goes for you.